Are you struggling to find leads and find deals in your real estate wholesaling business, and you keep on coming up against the same obstacles? Maybe you are cold calling and you end up speaking with property owners that tell you that, hey, I've got 3 or 4 other people that called me just this week, just this month about the property. Maybe you're doing driving for dollars and you just can't seem to get anywhere. You can't seem to find any good deals. It could be that you're doing direct mail and you just can't seem to get anywhere. What is the answer? What is the solution to your problem? And is that solution to your problem doing better marketing? Is that solution to your problem being that you need to go out and find some motivated sellers that nobody else knows about? The answer is actually very, very simple. You need to get out of town. You need to stop what you're doing, trying to do local wholesaling, and instead consider doing national and or state wholesaling. And that is what I'm going to talk to you about today, because I had a student recently that was having the same exact issue, and in the end he struggled for a couple months and finally got a deal done by doing exactly just that. And I'm going to do it here in the middle of Southwest A Street here. I'm actually in front here of a place called Domino Park here. Just finished, got somebody in from out of town, just finished having lunch at a very infamous, the most popular or the most famous Cuban restaurant in all of the United States, called Versailles. We had a great lunch, a bunch of Cuban sandwiches, and had a great meal. Really, really great place, highly recommend. And then now we just happen to be here walking on Southwest A Street in front of Domino Park, where they're playing dominoes, and I don't know if there's any gambling going on here, but they're playing dominoes and chess, and it looks like a big party over here. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but there's music all over the place, and that's what happens in Miami. We just party all night long. So today's lesson comes in the form of a story. So I have a student that is in my Find Motivated Sellers Online program, the #1 program for teaching real estate investors how to find motivated sellers on Facebook. Yes, shameless plug. Link in the description. Make sure you also give me a comment, give me a share, a like, a comment, whatever you can. Just give me something, okay? So anyway, this student here is in Florida, and he was trying to find deals in his local county. And prior to getting involved with the Find Motivated Sellers Online program for Facebook, he was doing direct mail, was doing cold calling, had done a deal, I think, but just really was trying to get away from the grind of spending all day on the phone and butting heads with all the people that he was butting heads with, and the sellers just being bombarded with other real estate investors, and was trying to find a way out of that. So that's how he got involved with the program. So he started out by doing wholesaling, by trying to find deals inside of his local county. And he was just really struggling. He was getting a few leads here or there, maybe paying a little bit too much for the leads. And so I suggested to him initially, I said, hey, why don't you go out and target a much bigger area? Take the county that you're in and expand on that county. And instead of just targeting that one county, target the counties around that. So that's what he did. He had a little bit more traction, but still was struggling to get consistent lead flow. The leads were a little bit expensive, etc. And then I said, look, just target the entire state. Take the entire state. Now, there was a few other tweaks that I had him do, but let's say for the purposes of targeting, I said, go ahead and let's target the entire state. And then you're gonna get leads in a variety of different places. And there goes my daughter's there. There you go. You're gonna get leads in a variety of different places that you absolutely positively don't know anything about, but that's okay. You're gonna sift and sort through the leads. You're going to get a lot of sellers that are interested in selling their property that you cannot help, because it might be a trailer park, might be in an area that's really too small of a town. But you're going to get other deals you get to look at on a Google Street View and say, wow, this is a solid house, CBS house, concrete block stucco house, and I think that this deal will work. So he started to do that, and all of a sudden now he's starting to get a bunch of leads, and he's going through the leads, and he got a lead in a county where that he didn't even know that this county existed until he got this lead. And he got the lead, looked like a solid house. He ended up taking that property, putting it under contract, and then now found a buyer. And now he has a deal scheduled to close, and it's going to be closing in I don't know when, but hopefully when it closes, then I'll get him on a YouTube interview. But he's going to make $10,000 off of that deal on an assignment fee. So this is a very interesting situation because, again, this may be exactly what you're encountering. You're doing cold calling, you're doing direct mail, and yeah, you want to keep and stay positive, but you're encountering the challenge of the fact that, you know, everybody says go after the tax delinquent list, and you're going after that tax delinquent list, but it's highly congested. I mean, how many real estate investors are going to go after the same tax delinquent list and nobody is going to butt heads with each other? And you know, you're in a market like, say, if you're in Broward, you're in Phoenix, you're in some of these markets that have a lot of competition, and you got also competing not only with the real estate investors that are out there hustling, trying to find deals, but you're also in competition with these iBuyers, Opendoor, Zillow offers, and everything else. And so, how do you do that? How do you counter that? So, in this student's example, if he was to have a chance of doing a deal in this particular county that he'd never heard about before, using conventional methods, he would have had to take and perhaps do a bunch of research on all the different counties in the state of Florida, narrowed it down to a certain number of them, and then once he narrowed it down to a certain number of counties, he would pick one, and then in that county, now he would have to go and start doing direct mail. He would have to buy a list and go through the process and make the financial commitment to do that. He would also have to, maybe he might consider doing cold calling, so he'd get a list of property owners, and then now he'd go back into the grind, maybe in a different location, but still a grind. Instead, what he did is he put an ad that was spending 30 or 40 bucks a day. And in that ad, now all of a sudden, in the same day, that ad will start generating motivated sellers. And they come in 2 or 3 or 4 at a time, you know, at any one given day, based on the amount of budget that you're working with. And now you're dealing with property owners that are not being targeted by other real estate investors, that are in areas where they're not highly, there's not a whole lot of congestion. They're also dealing with property owners that will find you more credible, that because of the fact that they saw you online. So keep in mind is that if even if in that scenario, if he was to go into that county and he was to do cold calling, then he'd encounter the issues of the fact that he's an annoying pest. He's calling people out of the blue, asking them if they want to sell their property. They don't know who he is, so now he has to overcome that particular obstacle. And so, whereas when you're dealing with leads that are coming in, there goes my daughter again, right there, a little backdrop there. When you're dealing with leads that are, say hello. Oh, Kelly, where are you? Oh, Kelly, say hello. Hello, Kelly, say hello. You're dealing with, you're an annoying pest. You're dealing with people in a way that they didn't request to speak with you or anything like that. And so you're getting instead people that raise their hands and said, yes, I'm interested in selling my house. I'm interested in speaking with you. Now, if you're going to do that, obviously having a website does help, because now you have that added layer of credibility that they saw you online. You have a website, you're credible. Say hello. What do we tell people? Hit the notification bell, subscribe. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So anyway, I'm very, very extremely happy for him, because now he's got a deal under his belt. He was struggling before, and I asked him, I said, so what are you going to do now? Are you going to start continuing this and just running the whole state and just doing ads in the entire state? And his answer is yes. The lead flow is more consistent. I'm paying less per lead, and I think this is going to make things easier for me. And so now he no longer has to worry about cold calling or driving for dollars or any of that stuff. And so now this is not possible if you were doing direct mail cold calling, because you're not going to target the entire state of Florida direct mail. You could, but you're going to go broke fairly quickly. You're not going to target cold calling the entire state of Florida. Not you personally, unless you have a legion of cold callers that are going to help you do that. So this is my new concept of national wholesaling, where instead of you say wholesaling in your local area, instead of you virtually wholesaling by selecting an area, specific area, and saying I'm going to do business in that area because my market isn't good enough, what you're doing is you're saying I'm going to select the entire state. I'm going to select a grouping of states. I'm going to select the entire country, and I'm going to allow leads to come in. And then as those leads come in, then I'm going to work those leads, knowing that I can analyze properties anywhere in the country, that I can have access to Google Maps, I have access to a variety of different resources, and finding buyers isn't an issue, because you can easily find buyers for these properties in a matter of a few short hours. So as long as you have a deal, then that's all that matters. And in the end, you go from an annoying pest, you go from a sales animal perspective, meaning you got to be able to close these deals. You got to be a really great salesperson because you're in competition with other real estate investors and with Zillow and Open Offer, Open Door, and all these other places. And then now you are you're just sifting and sorting through the leads, figuring out which ones are the best ones, and putting them on the contract. So let me know what you think about whether or not, what's stopping you from incorporating this model, from incorporating the model of no longer being tied to your local area, and instead just saying, I'm going to target the entire state, and I'm going to do deals in my entire state, wherever they may be, and I'm just going to pick and choose and cherry pick the best ones, and it's going to be easier, and I no longer have to do cold calling or any of that grunt work that makes me an annoying pest. What do you think about that? Tell me. Tell me. This is Chico, and I'm out of here.